Hey friends, this is Pink Pearl Tarot. I'm Eleanor. Welcome in. If you are not new, you might have noticed that I am not doing monthly sign by signs right now. I'm just going to be channeling messages for those that need them as they come up. They will all be timeless, and if the title drew you in, there's probably something helpful for you to hear. So I'm going to start with the current situation, and if it sounds like your situation, then you can listen on to find out what it is that you might need to know. So you have burdock root. This is tenacity. You have the King of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Tower. So today's reading finds you on the cusp of major changes. They're huge changes in regards to what you will and will not accept as you evolve and become each new iteration of yourself. We go through many deaths and rebirths in life, and this is indicating one of those happening now. This time there's a little bit of a push and pull between perseverance and stubbornness, and it's coming on the wake of having been it's like you've been knocked down a few pegs somehow, and there's an opportunity or an urge to break loose from what you think you know, what you have considered wisdom, that you might now be second guessing. There's a second guessing going on here, and it comes after reaching a certain intellectual peak that reveals how much you don't know. I'm sure you've heard that, like the more you know that you don't know, right? So for some of you, it's more like a situation that has challenged what you have always believed to be a fact. And for others, it's like that moment when, like, 1 minute you're in front of a class teaching a lesson, and then your teacher walks into the room, and then you're in student mindset again. You're re-entering beginner mind after being on top intellectually for a time. So something has come in to humble you intellectually. So I see a lot of self-questioning, possibly self-doubt, like a challenge to your trust in your own thoughts. And can you evolve stubbornness into tenacity here? So now what this is revolving around, it's your idea of happiness and contentment, your definition of what enough is for you. What you thought you wanted in life that would make you happy is going toe to toe with that potential for happiness being something very different in the end. And with the Tower here, it's possibly like shaking you to your core. Now, for others of you, it's more like a realization that in order to get it, you'll have to dissolve a major structure in your life. There is no way to access this wish from within that comfort zone, this fort/prison. And I'm also seeing the dissolution of a core belief, but it's not because of something bad happening, but something wonderful, actually. So I mean, how amazing is that, to have a belief changed by being given a blessing and not because something fell apart? There's also a confrontation happening here. It's like being confronted with something that you never even knew you wanted, but now that you have it or you've tasted it, nothing will ever be the same. And it's like there's an element to where not believing in something has kept you safe, and then opening yourself up to believing it now, believing in its existence, it's exposing you to an uncomfortable level of vulnerability. At the same time, I can see you on the precipice of a new cycle of expansion, one that is appearing right when you thought you were as evolved or expanded as you can get, and moving forward with it, staying in that discomfort, seeing where this can go, is going to take tenacity. Not because it's going to be an uphill climb of challenges and setbacks, but because of the continuous confrontation with vulnerability, that fight to accept that you have been given everything you ever wished for or didn't even dare to wish for. So that something good can be meant for you, can be yours. It's bloody uncomfortable, and I can see an element of mistrust and questioning. So if that sounds at all like something you're experiencing, let's see what you might need to know at this time. So you have Birch, you have the Death, Ace of Water. God, that's a beautiful Ace of Water. Ace of Cups, that is. Four of Water. Okay, we're going this way. This way it is. All right, and then you have the Ace of Fire, and you have this affirmation: remember, love is key. Love what you have in your life right now. So I'm going to spread these out. How about we put these this way? Sorry. Is everything going to fit? Yes, it will. Somehow. All right. Sorry, it's a new phone, so the frame is a little bit different than I'm used to. All right. Okay. So I am immediately drawn to that red thread in this birch card, which to me implies something faded, some kind of soul tie. But even more interesting, the energy of birch is exactly repeated there with the death card coming out. And it's strikingly followed by 2 aces, beautiful new beginnings once the old is allowed to fall away. Now, interestingly, the birch, it also echoes this energy of tenacity. So anyway, point being, this is an undeniable death and rebirth cycle. There is nothing ambiguous about it. Now, with that said, about it being fated, there's a philosophy that means that it was written to happen at a certain time and date. And so one can ask when something will happen, and the answer they're looking for is a time frame. But the way I read, the way I answer the question of when something is going to happen is when you do X, Y, Z. So this was fated to happen not at this time, but once you made the decision to close something, to choose dissolution over more of the same. That was the trigger for this new beginning. That was always fated once you did the thing. So there's a strong call for trust here as you're moving from a cycle during which you might have felt like you had to do everything alone, embody the masculine and feminine at all times, and hold up the world yourself. In this new cycle, there's partnership, there's unconditional love, and there's passion and hope. But what I'm finding fascinating about it is that 4 of Cups, you are not looking for this. It's unexpected, even uninvited. Like there's an Atlanta song, Uninvited. You didn't close something in hopes of something else opening up. You didn't do Y for the purpose of B, or whatever. You closed it to close it because it needed to be. You didn't seek something outside of yourself. You decided for yourself to transform. So this new beginning is just, it's a given. It is the only possible outcome after coming through the portal that you just did. And no, it's also interesting about this tenacity energy is that sometimes we can find ourselves questioning whether tenacity means to stick with something until it works out, or having the tenacity of hope for better to not hold on to something that is giving partial comfort. And it would appear that this is the latter that you've exercised. You believed in yourself enough to walk through the door into the unknown. And this is so important for people to hear, that sometimes the unknown contains everything we've ever wanted, not necessarily hidden struggle at all. I mean, okay, so it reminds me of that scene in the Divergent movies when like Tris volunteers to be the first jumper, and she jumps into the dark hole having no idea what awaits. Spoiler alert, I mean, it's an old movie, but it's a big net and her handsome love interest at the bottom of the hole. So you bravely faced the dark with no expectations of anything being on the other side. And the moment you did, your new beginning began. This shows new beginnings in love, in romance, family, inspiration, personal freedom, authenticity, or a new soul path. You might start to see things transform all around you as you clear your space of everything from the old world, and you update your surroundings to reflect your new embodiment. Now that 4 of Water, it tells me that you were not reaching for something. You were actually creating a boundary. Little did you know what that boundary was going to be around. It's like building a little fence around a garden that you haven't planted yet, or was planted but hasn't sprouted yet, I should say. Now, also on a side note for some of you, this could be something that was offered to you once or more times before in the past, and it is cycling around now again because it is meant for you, and you will get as many chances as you need. So essentially the message is to trust it. You have earned it. It is real. This is happening. And at the same time, beginnings are just that. They're potential. Where it goes from here is where that affirmation comes in. If you desire to keep this, or if you have a goal for it, stay in the love for yourself, love for the people sharing this chapter, and then also gratitude. That koi, it indicates a new era of peace for your soul, and a reminder to practice gratitude often. That Ace of Fire, that's your green light. This is unlimited potential. It's kind of like being at peace finally, and being able to put down some sort of chronic nervous system dysregulation. And when that happens, a new burst of energy or creativity arises. So you're stepping onto a new timeline and perhaps setting a new goal that would only make sense now. You're not only being blessed with love, but tremendous power that comes with it. And I'm also hearing that love is what got you here in the first place. Love for your path. Love enough to honor it despite what it could cost you. And whatever new goals you're setting, love is going to be the difference between manifesting them or not. So trusting yourself enough to dissolve completely to be reborn into your next form has worked out for you spectacularly. So remember that when this new path starts to bring challenges, how that worked out. So that you can 100% trust yourself. It's as though you're seeing displayed for you the difference between outcomes from decisions made in fear versus the outcomes of decisions made in love. And there is no need to ever hold back. So that's what I have for you. I hope it helped a little bit, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Thank you.